you feel like the world is spinning out of control? Like no matter what you do or what you try, things just seem to be going wrong? You're not alone. In fact, it seems that chaos has been with us for as long as humanity itself. And it was especially true for Marcus Aurelius, the last of the 5 good emperors of Rome. He ruled over a vast empire that was constantly at war, facing invasion and rebellion. And yet he managed to stay calm and collected in the face of all this chaos. So how did he do it? What can we learn from him about how to lead with calm in a turbulent world? That's what we'll explore in today's episode. 10 of the Daily Stoic. It's no secret that we live in a world that's full of distractions and chaos. We're bombarded with information from all sides, and it can be tough to stay focused on what really matters. But according to Marcus Aurelius, it's not the world that's chaotic, it's our minds. In his book, Meditations, he writes, "The reason we feel dragged into things, into worry, fear, anxiety, is that our own thoughts have some confusion in them." So the first step to staying calm in a chaotic world is to take control of our minds. It's not easy, but it's necessary if we want to be effective leaders. One way to do this is by practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It's about observing your thoughts and feelings without getting carried away by them. When you're mindful, you're more likely to be aware of the things that are distracting you, so you can deal with them effectively. Another way to take control of your mind is to set clear goals and priorities. When you know what you want to achieve, it's easier to stay focused and not get sidetracked by every little thing that comes up. This doesn't mean that you have to be rigid and inflexible, but it does mean that you need to be intentional about how you allocate your time and energy. Marcus Aurelius himself was a firm believer in the power of planning and preparation. He knew that even the most chaotic situations could be managed if you had a clear plan of action. In his journal, he writes, "When you rise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." So start each day with intention and remind yourself of what's really important to you. But it's not just about setting goals. It's also about letting go of things that are beyond your control. There are many things that happen in the world that we simply can't influence. The best thing we can do in those situations is to accept the reality and focus on what we can change. Marcus Aurelius famously said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This doesn't mean that we should be passive in the face of adversity. It means that we should be proactive in finding solutions and making the best of a bad situation. For example, when the Antonine Plague hit Rome and killed millions of people, Marcus Aurelius didn't despair. He took action to try to mitigate the damage. He established hospitals and clinics to care for the sick, and he worked to ensure that food and supplies were distributed fairly. Another way to stay calm in a chaotic world is to cultivate inner strength. Inner strength is the ability to bounce back from adversity and keep moving forward no matter what life throws at you. It's essential for leaders because it allows them to be resilient in the face of challenges and inspire others to do the same. One way to cultivate inner strength is by practicing gratitude. When you're grateful for the good things in your life, you're less likely to be overwhelmed by the bad. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "At any moment you can choose to be better than you were yesterday, so focus on the positive aspects of your life and let that be your guiding light when things get tough." Another way to cultivate inner strength is by accepting responsibility for your actions. When you make mistakes, don't dwell on them. Instead, learn from them and move on. This doesn't mean that you shouldn't strive for perfection. It means that you shouldn't beat yourself up when you fall short. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is to not be like the person who wronged you." So take responsibility for your actions, learn from your mistakes, and keep moving forward. As a leader, it's also important to remember that you're responsible for the well-being of others. You have the power to inspire and motivate those around you, so use that power wisely. One way to do this is by leading by example. People are more likely to follow someone who they admire and respect, so be the kind of leader that you would want to follow. Another way to lead with calmness in a chaotic world is to communicate effectively. Communication is key in any leadership position. When things are going smoothly, it's important to keep people informed and aligned. And when things get tough, it's even more important. People look to their leaders for guidance and reassurance during times of crisis. So be clear, concise, and honest in your communication. Don't try to hide the problems or sugarcoat the truth. Instead, focus on solutions and the positive aspects of the situation. Marcus Aurelius himself was known for his honesty and directness. He wasn't afraid to speak the truth, even if it was unpopular. In his journal, he writes, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Finally, it's important to remember that even the most successful leaders make mistakes. Nobody is perfect, so don't be afraid to ask for help or advice when you need it. Marcus Aurelius was known for his humility and his willingness to learn from others. In fact, he once said, "I've never seen an unhappy person who wasn't causing his own unhappiness." So take a moment to reflect on whether your own actions are contributing to the chaos in your life. If they are, then make a conscious effort to change your behavior. In today's world, it can be difficult to stay calm and focused amidst all of the distractions that surround us. However, by taking control of our minds, setting clear goals, cultivating inner strength and communicating effectively, we can lead ourselves and others through turbulent times with grace and resilience. Marcus Aurelius' teachings offer a timeless guide to navigating the complexities of life and maintaining a sense of peace and balance. As we continue to face challenges and uncertainties, it's important to remember the lessons from history and the wisdom of great thinkers like Marcus Aurelius. By doing so, we can better equip ourselves to lead with calmness in an ever-changing world. Now, if you want to learn more about Stoic philosophy and its practical applications for modern life, I'd recommend checking out 2 additional resources. The first is a website where you can find daily meditations and other Stoic wisdom. The second is a free email newsletter that delivers ancient wisdom for everyday problems, so check those out. Thanks for watching this episode of The Daily Stoic. I'm your host, reminding you to be good to others and to yourself.